I never thought, me personally, I would be a business owner at all.
Yeah, and it just kind of like fell into your lap, and clearly there's something about it that you guys enjoyed.
Outside of working hard too, I think the number one skill would be just working with speed. You can work hard, but if you're doing everything slow and it takes you a couple days to maybe clean a couch in that scenario, that comes down to a lot of everything needs to be done quick, everything needs to be done fast.
He's letting things slow him down. So it's like, oh, we're out of storage space. I guess we can't like pick up anything. We can't do anything. We're out of space. Like, go get another storage unit. Now, 3 years in, you guys have 4, 5 products that are your bread and butter. But in order to get there, I'm guessing you had to kiss a few toads. Tell us about that journey.
I guess what we ended up finding out is we ended up having a local manufacturer reach out to us.
On today's episode of the Couch Pod, I am joined by Chase and Christian of Select Living Furniture, LLC. They have come a long way in a little bit of time. I was very surprised to hear, speaking with Chase the other day, that they are now averaging about $75,000 to $80,000 a month in revenue in 2024. An amazing accomplishment, and very lucky to have you guys on the pod today.
Yeah, thank you, Charles.
Thanks for having us.
I think our audience would love to hear like how you all got started. What was this journey like from 0 to 80, and even some months making $100,000 in sales?
What we can tell a lot of people is we started out with a couch on the side of the road, literally. So we used to be pizza delivery drivers in college. On a heavy trash night in the neighborhood, I ended up finding a decent looking oversized sectional. I had a Mustang and he has a truck. So I texted him saying, hey man, I think we could probably pick this up, resell it. So we picked it up, ended up selling the next day for about 120 bucks, which at the time was definitely a lot of money, considering that was probably about a full pizza delivery shift. So we ended up what we like to be called as trash hunters. So we literally had a notepad on our iPhone, ended up getting all the trash, heavy trash schedules from all the surrounding neighborhoods. And after the pizza delivery shifts, we would go to the heavy trash neighborhoods, pick everything up that seemed like it had any type of value. And I guess to say the least, we turned his dad's backyard into pretty much a big dumpster, I guess, of random used furniture. So ended up finding out that we really like selling sectionals. That's what it ended up selling the best in the, I guess, the trash market. So Chase ended up finding a YouTube video. I believe Ryan Pineda was a video. Everyone's heard of it just about. And we realized that we could take this to another level of our newly found side hustle. So we ended up buying used sectionals on Facebook Marketplace, ended up fixing them up a little bit, cleaning them, offering free delivery, staging them, and we ended up doing purely sectionals. We ended up getting to one point around 60 used sectionals ended up being our max. So ended up doing that more and more and more, obviously. And with networking, we ended up getting into new couches where we pretty much are today.
Hey flippers, are you still manually searching for deals or posting them on Facebook, OfferUp, and Craigslist? It's time to level up with Ivy Flip, the world's best app for resellers. With Ivy Flip, you can effortlessly source products from Facebook, OfferUp, and Craigslist, all from one convenient app. No more anxiety about missing a good deal. You'll receive notifications as soon as they're posted. Plus, with our cross-posting feature, you can post your listings to multiple marketplaces with a single click. And with our AI-powered scam detection, you won't waste time on fake listings. Stop wasting time with outdated methods. Embrace the tech that transforms your flipping game. Try Ivy Flip today and watch your profits soar. Click the link in the description and get a 1-week free trial of our app now.
Amazing. And what is the time frame of that journey, just to give context to our audience?
It's been 3 years, so we started it out at the beginning of 2021. We did the trash hunting and finding for the first 3 to 6 months of the year. Kind of stopped a little bit towards that last month. Then I saw the video, and then we pretty much just took off immediately. Saw the video. Next day, went and found a couch for 80. Flipped it the next morning for $395, and from there we just got a storage unit, and we just kept going, kept expanding it, going all day, every day, picking up couches and selling couches. I mean, when we would do the trash hunting, we would be out till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. sometimes, just looking around.
That was pretty common. Yeah, we used pizza delivery job to pretty much scout through the day, because you would end up going all these different neighborhoods. So you can write down, okay, on this street we saw this, so let's go pick it up right after our shift.
Interesting. That's a very unique origin story. I don't think I've heard that one before. I've talked to a lot of flippers. So you guys started flipping couches and you never looked back.
Nope.
Not at all.
We graduated pretty much during and right after COVID, and I ended up getting an actual salary job when it was just still a side hustle. That side hustle of the used couches ended up paying more than the salary job, so ended up quitting the side hustle to make it a full-time business for the both of us.
What are your degrees in?
I went to Texas A&M for economics and a minor in financial planning. I wanted to be a financial advisor.
I went to U of H, University of Houston, for supply chain management. I just did a random business course because I wanted to do business, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the corporate world was not calling my name.
Yeah, and here we are in the couch flipping world instead.
I never thought, me personally, I would be a business owner at all.
Yeah, and it just kind of like fell into your lap, and clearly there's something about it that you guys enjoyed. It takes a certain amount of like grit and tenacity, but probably also passion to be cruising through the streets 1 a.m., 2 a.m. making pickups.
Yeah, we just had a fun time doing it, honestly. That's how it got started. It was just so fun to just go find something on the side of the road. Wow, look, we can pick this up and make $200. Split it in half, get it sold quick. It was fun.
I was back in college, and that was big time money, to say the least, to have two different incomes.
So how do you feel about the business today? Has the excitement died down a little bit? Do you still have a lot of enthusiasm about what you're doing? Because, buying couches new in box is a very different hustle than running around town looking for trash deals.
Right, definitely, yeah. There's probably more enthusiasm today than there's ever been, I would say, on my end, just because there's so much more opportunity we realize now rather than picking up trash, which has an obvious ceiling. Doing this, there's really no ceiling. There's new challenges, new tasks every day. It's just always doing something new and trying different things out in the business. That's what keeps us going.
Yeah, we're sort of both the type of people where we're anti-lazy as you can be. So if we're not doing something, we almost start itching a little bit. So we like to consider ourselves hustlers. Literally last night, we were finishing a delivery and Chase was talking about, we're getting home pretty early, and it was 11:10 at night. So we're worked just about 24/7.
Interesting. Yeah, and I think if you want to be really successful in this game, you have to have that kind of grind set. I was talking to a flipper yesterday, and he's like, man, I just feel like we're so stuck and we can't take our flipping business to the next level. And he's like, I'm thinking about hiring an employee to do pickups. And then we ended up taking a look at his numbers. And on average, he was flipping like 14 couches a month. And it was full time for him and his partner. Right. And I was like, man, you just got to work harder.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. Hard work and hustle. That can go across for any business,
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. If you don't have the sort of mindset and the personal drive, probably entrepreneurship isn't for you.
I think he lacked context, so he's letting things slow him down. So it's like, oh, we're out of storage space. I guess we can't pick up anything. We can't do anything. We're out of space. Like, go get another storage unit.
We've done that several times.
Yeah, it's funny. We had about, I think, 2,200 square feet roughly of warehouse, and literally we were getting a shipment in and it was going to destroy all the units with no room whatsoever. And we literally just got a fourth unit on the spot. We called the storage unit manager and just say, hey, can we grab this real quick? We'll pay it tomorrow. So we've been building, we started in a 5x8 unit, I believe.
Yeah, it's super important, especially if you're doing it full time, you have to keep busy. If you're side hustling, that's one thing. If you have your full-time gig and this is going to be side hustle income for you, by all means, wait for the best deals. And when your storage unit is full, you chill, you can have idle time in the day because it's a side hustle. But if you're going to be full time, like 2 people full time, and you're flipping 15 couches a month, it's just not enough volume. You're simply not working hard enough. And so I had to kind of had that sort of like a reality check with it. I talk to flippers all the time. I look at a lot of P&L statements, profit and loss statements for couch flipping businesses. So I can just kind of tell by the numbers, are you working hard enough? There's a lot of context here.
And then outside of working hard too, I think the number one skill would be just working with speed. You can work hard, but if you're doing everything slow and it takes you a couple days to maybe clean a couch in that scenario, that comes down to a lot of everything needs to be done quick, everything needs to be done fast, yet efficient as well.
Absolutely. Try to be efficient with your time. Certainly, find good deals. Don't drive so far to pick up a couch. So you don't want to bash your head against the wall and create more work for yourself that is unnecessary. But at the same time, moving quickly, right? As soon as you pick up that couch, get it back to the storage unit, getting it processed, cleaned, staged, taking photos, and listed onto Marketplace as quickly as possible. The difference between 1 day and 2 days between buying and listing doesn't seem like a lot, but over time, it compounds. So if you're buying 45 couches a month and you're taking an extra day to process every single one of those couches, that adds up over time, especially if storage is expensive.
Big snowball effect.
I would counter the point about driving far, to be honest, maybe with picking up used couches, but we've actually found a lot of success because we actually journey out of Houston a lot. So we'll sell in Austin, we'll sell in San Antonio. We'll sell all over the place. We will collect a few orders and we will load up a trailer with 2 or 3 orders at a time. And we're selling new couches. There's more profits as we see it, maybe not margin, but there's a lot of money to be made. And that has opened up a whole nother avenue for us. When we decided to start going out of town, we increased our revenue by anywhere from 30 to 100% a month.
Makes total sense. And I think the overall point here being a lot of people are out there trying to build a couch flipping business and they're just cherry picking every element of what they're doing. So they only want the best couches and it has to be like close to them. It has to be in like perfect condition. And until they find those deals, they're passing up on opportunities left and right because they want things to kind of like be easy and be perfect. But you shouldn't be cherry picking deals unless you are getting to the point where you're so busy that there's an actual opportunity cost for your time. And so you have time in the day and you could be making money. You should be out on the streets driving 2 hours to make that pickup or make that delivery or looking around the neighborhood to see if there's something you could be doing. It's very important to be active with your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's always something to do. And even outside of pickups too, if you're looking to expand the business, you can be working on a website, e-commerce. You can be studying how to improve that, how to maybe not be so reliant on Facebook Marketplace. That's probably a big key one. There's a lot of us stuff to do, and there's always something to do. So if you're looking to expand your business and you're sort of not going the extra mile, then I think you're doing yourself a disservice, not only to you, but to your business.
If you're not growing, you're dying. It's age-old mantra in business. Once again, if it's a side hustle, fine. But if you are taking your business seriously, you're taking yourself seriously, these are the lengths that you have to go to in order to succeed. One thing you just said, Christian, is that diversifying off of Facebook Marketplace is something that you consider to be important in these times. So I'm curious why you said that.
I think with Facebook Marketplace, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket necessarily. So a lot of people, like I've seen online, have been getting their accounts banned. What if Facebook goes down? What if people on Marketplace just don't want to buy there anymore because of scams or whatnot? So I think it's really important you start developing your own type of client base, whether that be your website, whether you do a group. You definitely should have more than one outlet for getting sales.
Even too, I'll touch on that point too. There's always stuff to be done. We've had times where we need money now and we need a sale now. I've went on Facebook Marketplace, texted 50 different people who are selling their couch to say, hey, we'll buy your old couch and sell you a new one. And it's worked before and got money in that day. There's always something to do. There's always a way to find a sale.
There's money everywhere.
Where are you guys at with the business today? Like how many, like, are you in a warehouse? Is it a brick and mortar? Do you have a showroom? How much square footage? Do you have employees? Like kind of give us the breakdown of the business today and how you're operating.
Yeah, so we have a storefront right now. We're currently in it as well. We have 4 storage units and we pretty much, it's just us with a few people helping us here and there. So that's generally where we're at right now.
Got it. So you have your showroom, which is where you're currently at. And then proximate to your showroom, you have 4 storage units where you're keeping all of your inventory.
Right, that's correct. Yeah, 4 big commercial storage units, about 2700 square feet.
And how are you guys finding leads or customers to buy your inventory? Are you still reliant on Facebook? Have you started to diversify in the way that we were just talking about?
Yes, so we'll run ads through Facebook. We have a Facebook page that we've grown over time for the last 2 years. We get a lot of traction on there. We get a lot of repeat customers now too, selling new items because we don't limit ourselves to just couches, though that is our main focus. We'll sell beds, we'll sell mattresses, rugs, all of that different stuff. A lot of people will be looking to furnish their whole home, and that helps a ton and just adds extra profit. Easy to deal with the same person over and over again. Obviously, we still use Facebook Marketplace a lot, but the page and growing the website and running ads is definitely the next step that we're working on right now.
Got it. So are you running Facebook ads, Google ads, both?
Yeah, we're running Facebook ads and we're running ads through the website more specifically. So we found a lot of recent success with that, and especially with our new formed website that we've recently bulked up. We're trying to do all in on that pretty much. We find that you typically get a lot more organic leads and then hot leads too.
I saw you guys have quite a bit of inventory on the website. It's looking very robust. So congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's been our goal. So we've been working hard on it.
In terms of labor, it's predominantly you two. Maybe you have like a helper here and there. I mean, I think that would shock a lot of people given like the volume that you're doing. 75K, 80K a month is no joke. And to be pushing those numbers just 2 people, how do you do that? Like, how do you make it? Is it just the hustle, or do you have some systems that are helping you get there?
A lot of hard work. We'll switch off and we'll just make things happen. So a lot of the times lately, I've been just driving and driving and driving all over the place and delivering. He'll be working on the website and doing things to push us forward in other ways. So we're always both doing something to push forward.
We look at everyone else, and it's unacceptable for us to not be hustling more than the next person, is how we view it. We don't want anyone out hustling us. We're going to out hustle everybody else. And we feel like that, especially in the long term, it's going to pay a lot of dividends.
Like, do you feel like you balance each other out in terms of your strengths and weaknesses, or are you sort of like both able to switch off between the different activities that are necessary for the business?
So we both have our strengths and weaknesses, obviously, in anything, but we're able to balance it out. We both just do whatever is necessary. We communicate good. We have something going on. We have a shipment coming in. One person will run over there. We're just both working all the time, focused on it.
Yeah, it pretty much just comes down to where's the slack in the business. If someone's busy doing something, then someone picks up the other task, and vice versa. Or if someone's out for the day, then someone else carries the load, type of thing. So we designate our skills and our effort to where the business is needed, and we just communicate and make sure it's a fluid system where all the business's needs are being checked at the same time.
So one thing that's interesting about you guys is that you're not really couch flippers anymore. You're not buying used couches on Facebook Marketplace, cleaning them and flipping them. When did you stop doing it, and why did you stop flipping used couches in favor of the new inventory?
Last year, around February, we had an opportunity with a local supplier in Houston. They reached out to us, and we'd always talked about getting new couches, and this pretty much happened and lined up, and we said, okay, perfect. Started buying them. We started flipping them. We saw that there was plenty of money to be made in it, and eventually we just slowly scaled out of the used couches and just all into the new couches. Essentially, just every time we would sell a used one, we would kind of reinvest into new couches rather than in the used couches again. And we just found it to be getting a lot harder to find pickups on Facebook and anywhere online. And it just made so much more sense to us to be able to just source the products and not spend any time picking couches up, because that might take up half of your time as a standard couch flipper. And we freed up all that time just to focus on selling, marketing, and doing everything else required.
Yeah, and then we sort of realized too, as our goal has always been the best in everything we do. And if we were to stick with the used, I think there's a certain ceiling to it to a degree. And we just wanted to take it to the next level. And to be frank, too, used sectionals I thought were a lot harder to deal with. There's a lot of unknown variables. So you'll go pick up, they'll maybe lie about the condition. You'll get a pea couch, dog hair couch, smoke couch, cockroach couch.
We've had it all.
Yeah, we've seen it all, and it's just such a pain sometimes, because then you have to worry about taking pictures again, and whenever you go to use, you don't have to do any type of cleaning. At most, maybe you can check the box for damages before shipping it or something like that, but it changed the game on inventory management, time management, and it allowed us to sort of designate our time to growing the business in multiple ways, rather than the used sectionals taking up all our time just taking pictures and cleaning instead of making money.
Makes total sense. I'm going to create some content about this maybe in the next month or so, but I'm starting to see couch flipping businesses, maybe not in terms of a hierarchy, but on an evolutionary scale. The interesting thing about couch flipping in this industry is that it started maybe 5-10 years ago. A bunch of people flipping out of a storage unit, garage with a trailer. What's happening now is these people that used to be independent out of their garage are moving into these warehouses, brick and mortar, buying trucks, buying truckloads of inventory. They're scaling up their business. Let's say if you're in a garage, you're selling just on Facebook Marketplace, you have a pickup, you're somewhat like a level 1 flipper. This is like an okay place to be because it's low risk, low cost, low barrier to entry. You can buy something for $100, turn around, sell it for $600, put $500 in your pocket. But that also means that you are much more reliant on Facebook Marketplace. If you want to reliably scale your income to, like, let's say $25,000 a month, you're probably going to have to make some investments. Over time, what we're seeing now is like these flippers are becoming more established, and they're building outfits such as yourselves, where you have this like nice showroom, you're moving on to the new inventory. And so there's this like progression that's happening. And I think more and more flippers are seeing that this is possible and starting to establish those kinds of businesses for themselves. Not that there's one right way or wrong way to do it. It's just that happens to be the growth trajectory. One choice that you guys have made that is interesting is to completely move away from used furniture. I know flippers that have built like very big businesses for themselves, and they still predominantly focused on used couches. And I think the simple answer is there's pros and cons to each. And so what would you characterize the pros and cons of used couches versus new couches being?
With used couches, there's just a lot more variables, like Christian mentions, unknown, right? You might be walking into a bad deal. I mean, you can walk into a great deal too. There's been so many times where we had made great deals with used couches. But with new couches, I'd just say it's a lot easier. You can stage once and you can just remarket it over and over and over and over again.
Honestly, with the used, for us personally, and I'm sure other people would find more examples, but we don't find a whole lot of advantages used compared to new, to be honest with you. The new is just so low maintenance. If you get a product that ends up selling, you take pictures one time, you sell it over and over and over again. You don't have, I guess, 50 different type of couches that you can work with. You have one or two if you want to do it that route. The used just is a lot more maintenance. There's a lot more, I guess, hand-picking type of maintenance to it, where it's just you set it, forget it, and worrying about marketing yourself and marketing your company.
But you can also get capital tied up with the new couches too. If you're experimenting, because you do have to experiment with new couches and they aren't as cheap. So having that money up front to be able to go into this, that's what the used couches really did for us. It was a seed money to do all of this. We just think it's a lot more sustainable over a 10, 20, 30-year path, because people always want new furniture. And sure, people will always want used couches too, but I feel like you can make more of a name for yourself doing the new couches and furniture, and there's a lot more avenues to go down.
Yeah, people sort of respect you more as a business, I feel like, too. Where used, it seems like a side hustle, but if you bring in new furniture, I feel like they're more likely to look on your website, realize your brand, remember your brand, and then a lot of the time, the best customers are the ones that come back and buy more from you. So though you find those to be real hot leads, you normally develop a great relationship with them. And we've had a few customers where I think we've developed a lifetime relationship. But that's something we wouldn't be able to do if we were in the used market.
That's amazing. And I think you guys made a bunch of really great points. With used couches, I think the struggle that a lot of flippers have when they transition from used couches to new couches is there's more risk involved, there's more capital involved, and there's more of a need to find a model. Flippers might be used to picking up a couch for $100 and selling it for $700, right? Making $500, $600 gross profit on a flip. And that feels easy, low risk, and reliable in some way. So when they have to shell out 20 grand to get a truckload of new couches, and all of a sudden they go from making $500, $600 average per flip to only making $300 per flip. You can't make more on new couches, let's just say. They're making less margin. It feels bad. It feels uncomfortable. In contrast, though, if they were able to pick up a load of new couches and do really well with it, now they have a model, right? Because wherever you got those new couches from, you can probably get more of. And if you order more and more, you can maybe even get better pricing. And so it's about getting access to that inventory and then having a reliable way of selling through that inventory. Now you have a model. Now you don't have to negotiate every single time you want a couch with some random person on Facebook Marketplace, drive to their house, pick up couches one by one that have dog pee on it, that have stains. You don't have this like battle on every single piece of inventory that like you do with used couches. Whereas like the new couches, they come in a truck, they ship it to you, they're boxed up, they're palletized. You can stack them up in a corner of your warehouse. It takes up less space. Maybe you take out one unit and that's your floor unit. You let people come into the showroom, sit on it, touch it, feel it. And if they want it, you can ship it to them or you deliver it to them. It's still boxed up. And so it's easier to rinse and repeat. And I think that's the thing that separates used couch flipper versus a new couch flipper, is that the new couch flipper needs to find a model and needs to do that probably independent of Facebook Marketplace. That just feels hard for a lot of people. And so they'll try maybe a truckload of new, and then maybe something goes wrong. They feel uncomfortable, and then they go back to doing things in a way that feels comfortable, something that they knew.
I would say, honestly, being uncomfortable, though, is a great thing. That's the only real way that you can grow, by going through trial and error and just failing. I mean, we failed plenty of times on flips. Things didn't work out. But just trial and error over and over again. Be uncomfortable. It's okay. New situations, once you're in that situation again, you'll know exactly how to react and you'll know what to do. And really, flipping new couches is honestly the same thing. You're just going to be selling to people who generally have more money and they're more willing to spend money. But it's just the same thing. It's hustling, getting it marketed, getting it out there. You might have to market a little bit more. You might have to push a little bit harder to get sales. You might not get as much quantity per se, but we try to go for very nice couches where we're able to leave plenty of room for profit. Honestly, we find that we both make more profit on each new sectional rather than used. Granted, the margin would be higher, say picking up something for $200 and selling it for 600, but when you're spending, 2,200 on a couch and selling it for 4,000, there's a lot of money to be made there.
And less work. If you're in a either side hustle or business or whatever you're doing with it, if you're not failing and sort of being uncomfortable, you're not growing as a person and as a business. So if you're always in that safe space, your business is never going to grow. You're never going to learn from those mistakes. And then you have to realize the mistakes you're making and then build upon that. If you're looking to transfer from used to new, I think a real efficient way would be to slowly ease into new. Find one product that's brand new that sells, while still going off to the side and having that floor of the used market to help uplift your transition from used to new.
The transition for us to go from our first new couches to fully new was almost, 8 to 12 months. So transitioning over time did help. And then eventually got to the point where, hey, we're honestly wasting our time by going to get these used couches when we can market the new and just focus on selling. That's kind of how we viewed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you're going to make the transition to used to new, do it slowly. Understand that used couches are how you got to where you're at today. It's reliable cash flow. It's lower risk in a way. So be very careful about biting the hand that feeds you. I think for some people, it makes sense to do both. There's room in this business model to continue to operate, flipping the occasional used couch in conjunction with new couches. I think that's totally fine. And some people have had success with that. So you just kind of have to figure out what works for you. But it's clear, at least from your perspective, that just the new couches were the way to go. So I want to talk about that journey a little bit more. Because obviously it wasn't overnight. It was 8 to 12 months, slowly transitioning out of used to new. And I think the key thing here was you needed to figure out a model. What are the new couches we should buy? How do we sell these on a reliable basis? Assume that today, how many SKUs do you carry, new couches do you carry at your store today?
We have about 12 to 14 couches in here. But honestly, there's a few that once you start doing new, I think you'll have a few that are just your bread and butter. We have about 3 to 4 different couches that are just our bread and butter that we sell almost every day, every other day, multiple times a week. And then the other ones are just a nice little bonus when you sell them. Just market it very good. Keep selling that one. It makes things easy.
Yeah, our goal is always we like to call them our bread and butters. The goal, I think, is to slowly keep adding those bread and butters as you go. You get a lot of sales just from a small bulk of your products, is what we've noticed.
We sell 20% of our products 80% of the time.
Right. 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. Let's talk about that, right? Now, 3 years in, you guys have 4, 5 products that are your bread and butter. But in order to get there, I'm guessing you had to kiss a few toads. Tell us about that journey. Maybe there was a truckload that you bought along the way and you just, couldn't get rid of it. It was a terrible deal. Tell us about that journey to start figuring out what products work for you, because I guarantee you that someone listening to this podcast is thinking about buying their first truckload and they're going to go through these mistakes. And if they could hear it from someone who's been there before, I think it would be really helpful to them.
I guess what we ended up finding out is we ended up having a local manufacturer reach out to us saying, hey, we get shipments in every week. I think you'll really like this product based on what you're selling currently, which was just a bunch of used couches at that time. But we ended up buying a truckload from them and we ended up selling that product pretty well straight off the bat. So what we found out with our client market was we really love to sell modulars. Our company name called Select Living, it didn't intend it this way, but we like to have our customers literally select their living. So we want our customers to design their couch. Each customer has their own unique space. They have their own unique style, what they're going for. So modulars help our customers more so help customize exactly how they want them to look. So a lot of our customers come in and we start just being like a design consultant for them. So instead of them thinking about the price or them thinking about something else to buy, whether it's from us or a competitor, they're over here designing their sectional. And I feel like you get to really be involved with that customer. You get to really work with them and they end up getting exactly what they want at the end of the day. So our bread and butters have typically been modular, just so our customers can literally design that sectional that they want.
And we absolutely learned this from used couch flipping. Used couch flipping taught us a lot about what the market wants. Anytime we would get a used modular cloud couch, it would flip very quicker than your standard sectional for us.
Yeah, the used market, I would say, it really helped us learn what our target market likes. what style sells, what style's been going out of stock, and that type of thing. And then also guys to add on to the modulars too. For us, they're real efficient to ship, and they ship pretty quickly compared to ones that are bagged or ones that are extremely heavy, like a power reclining sectional. So they're real efficient on every regard for the customer.
Easy to deliver too, than one man can deliver it no problem. When you do modular sectionals, just dolly it in, no problem. You don't have a giant 200-pound piece.
Do you guys assemble the couches for your customers as well?
We do. We offer free delivery and assembly. So if you're from Houston, you've probably heard of Mattress Mac. I don't know how many people have heard of Mattress Mac. He's very, very popular down here in the furniture industry. But we just like to take what his principles are and follow them because they've worked for him to build a very successful business. And it provides a lot of value to the customer too, right? And you really can build it in your price. We offer free delivery, free setup. We're going to make it easy and convenient for you. Making it as convenient for the customer as possible in every regard gets you a long way, and it helps a lot of people. We've had so many sales come from that, and people give us feedback regarding that. Well, sometimes we'll even take the couch to the customer if they say it's too far for them to come to the store. We will take a piece to their house, put it in their living room and say, do you like it? Do you like how it looks in here? And we try to navigate the risk on that by just making sure it's convenient for us when we're in that area. And it's helped us a ton. It works almost every time.
Our sort of policy has sort of been free delivery, free assembly today. So if a customer wants it, we're not giving them a second chance to think about it. We're delivering it, putting it in their home, and getting the sale. That's sort of been our principle too.
You guys are going really above and beyond to make your customers happy.
That's who makes your business at the end of the day. Without the customers, you would not be having any money. And it leads to a lot of good reviews. And then when people can read, 300 plus, 400 plus reviews, hey, they did great, they helped us a lot, blah, 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 all of that good stuff. They trust the other people and what they say when you have sheer numbers like that.
Yeah, I would say reviews, for us at least, is one of the most important things. It's a representation of your business. I know whenever I'm shopping for certain stuff, I look at the reviews of the product, I look at the reviews of the company. If the reviews aren't good, I don't care how good the product looks, how good the product is priced. I'm not dealing with the company at all if it doesn't have good reviews. So and that goes a long way too, not just for local, both here in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, and Austin for us, but also when we ship nationwide. Especially the shipping customers, I noticed, maybe look at the reviews even more than the local.
You will deliver and assemble the couches for your customers. Now, this is a controversial topic. I've seen various posts about this in different groups. Some people say you should be charging for delivery. It's an opportunity to make more money, but you guys have sort of taken the Amazon-esque policy here, or the Mattress Mac-esque policy here, to really overemphasize giving value to your customers. And so how do you feel about the contrary point here that maybe you're not valuing your time correctly, or in some cases you're not getting value for doing the free delivery and assembly, or you're getting taken advantage of?
I don't look at it as getting taken advantage of. We try to build it into our prices to a degree, and this just provides so much value to the customer. It's a selling point for them that they don't have to go pay extra. I've had a lot of people actually tell me, oh, you offer free delivery? That's great. I didn't even know that. And it sells them even more. And I think it helps a lot. People really appreciate it. And like I said, at the end of the day, your customers are your business.
As a salesman, you want to eliminate the barriers to entry for your customer. So if you have a customer that loves the product and then realizes, they have to pay an extra charge again when you could have baked it in the price, your customer might rethink it because they don't want to pay extra. They might already think that price point is pretty expensive. So if you were to just say free shipping, and this is the price you're paying, then they say, okay, yeah, that's good. That's real convenient too. So you want to eliminate those barriers to entry for your customer to where you just get them to say yes and get the deal done. I make jokes with customers all the time. I say, we take care of everything for you. We deliver in your home, room of choice, upstairs even. We've done 7 stories before. We'll assemble it for you. We'll take out the trash. We've heard some horror stories of some companies leaving trash. I don't know why you would, but literally we want the customer to not lift a finger. I joke around with them saying you could sit back with some beer or wine and just watch us and talk with us if you want to. So literally we don't want the customer to break a sweat. We do all the hard work for them. We want to get the sale. We want them to be happy. We want them to just be able to sit on the couch after they buy it, which I'm sure they're dying to do. So that's our goal for our customer, the ultimate convenience, the best shopping experience they'll ever have. At the end of the day, they're people just like us. We want them to So love what we do, love the products, and love the service, especially that we provide for them.
One thing I'll say is I haven't met a selling operation making over 50K a month that didn't have this kind of mindset, where that wasn't super honed in and focused on providing exceptional experiences for their customers.
Yeah, it's really just a value too. You're just wanting to do good by the customer, right? Like I said, they're your business, and you want to make sure everyone's taken care of, and it just makes it a lot easier for everyone. You're right. You might drop it off, and they might not know how to assemble the couch, and then you're going to have to go back and help them or guide them through it on the phone. It makes it easier for everyone, we believe.
We just sort of put ourselves on our customers' shoes. If I was buying a sectional from a company, would I really want to pay extra for a delivery, especially if they're like right in Houston too? No. Do I really want to get 11 boxes dropped off at my front door and then have to spend hours assembling it when they're the experts and they could probably do it in 30 minutes? We just really look at what our customers want. We put ourselves in their shoes and say, what do we want if we were buying from us? How would we want to be treated? It's sort of sad to say sometimes. I feel like if you do the bare minimum for customer service, it's almost shocking, which we found out because we would treat customers as we would anyone else, and they would be absolutely surprised. It's almost like businesses don't even care for their customers. So that's how we view it. And to us, it's just something basic you do as a business owner.
This is my fifth company. I've been an entrepreneur my entire career. And I think because I am an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, and I put so much emphasis on doing right by our customers and making sure that they're having a good experience. Like there's no customer service interaction that is below me, even as CEO of our company. So if a customer is having an issue, I'm the first line of defense, typically. Like I'll pick up the phone, I call, I get my hands dirty. But at the same time, when I have bad experiences with a business, like a bad customer service experience with the business, I get mad, right?
Yeah.
Like I know the standard at which I operate, and like the service that we try to provide to our customers and what it takes to provide good customer experience. And that really does come top down. Like, you as the executive, you as the owner operator, you have to have that sort of service mentality, and your employees and the people that are downstream from you are going to emphasize that based on the direction that you provide them. And I just think, especially in American corporate and entrepreneurial society, like that is so important. Like, right now I'm in Europe, and I think the service mindset here is a little bit different. The lifestyle is also a little bit different. But if you're trying to build America and you're competing with the best of the best in business, there's really no excuse.
It's a competitive world. If you're not working your ass off, the person next to you is. So if you're not working your hardest and you're not building your business and you're not growing, someone's going to outwork you and take your place. So that's how we view it. Like I mentioned before, we don't get out hustled.
The other thing that you guys mentioned that I really like is the consultative approach that you're taking to sales. Now, selling couches is not rocket science, not to put it down. It's like a basic fundamental aspect of human life. Let's say American society, maybe not human life. There's two approaches. Someone walks into your showroom. Hey, we got this couch. It's hot. It's like good material, good condition. It's hot. It's like on sale, $400, $500. Do you want it or not? That's one approach. You're pushing the inventory at your customers. The other is to kind of sit back and listen. Hey, thank you for coming into our shop today. What are you looking for? How can I help you? Oh, you have toddlers that are going to kindergarten next year. Baby on the way. You have family coming over for Christmas. You have a lot of relatives that might need to sleep on this couch. Okay, tell me more about how your living space is configured. And then you're sitting there, you're listening, you're taking notes, and you're simultaneously constructing a vision for how this couch is going to look in their space. It's something that they're going to have a ton of interaction with. And if you really understand the value that you're creating in the long term like that, the price almost doesn't matter. Is there really a difference between paying $2,000 for this couch that like kind of does the job, or $3,000 for the couch that fucking nails it?
What I think a lot of salesmen and saleswomen typically go wrong is they sell the product rather than the need. I feel like what you should do whenever you get a customer that walks in the door or messages you is really learn what the customer wants, what they're looking for, what they need, and then you sell based on those needs. So if you got a mom with two young kids who absolutely says she hates fabric and wants something durable, but she also has friends that coming over, these are the type of questions you need to be asking your customer to really understand what they want and what they want for their friends and family. So you wouldn't sell the color in that scenario. You would sell how deep it is, how you can host friends, how if it's a genuine leather sectional, the durability of your kids and pets, you would sell that type of stuff. I wouldn't start talking about how it was made in Vietnam or China or the color or the stitching or something they just don't care about. You sell the need.
And it touches them on more of an emotional base too, and makes them just think about their everyday life and being happy with their family and all of that good stuff. Not only that too, but they almost let their guard down from a salesman perspective, because you're being friendly, you're just being their friend, and people like that feel sometimes. Sometimes people do not like to be hard sold. It will scare them away.
The really cool thing that you guys have done is you have crafted an entire enterprise that suits your sales style. So when you're selling used couches, I mean, someone walks into your storage unit, I got 3 used couches. Which one do you want? Right? There's not so much flexibility there. You have what you have. And so you don't have the ability to work with someone if they're outside of the target demographic that would want that couch. And I think, sort of realizing that maybe actively or passively, you've put yourself in a situation today where you can be extremely consultative, where you have the opportunity to take a step back, work with the customer, hear them out, evaluate what their needs are, and then provide a solution.
Yeah, that's the idea, is just solving a solution. You never necessarily sell the product, you sell what the customer wants and needs.
After speaking with y'all today for this hour, I can tell why you've been able to come so far in such a short period of time. I mean, you guys are really putting up some impressive numbers, coming from humble beginnings as pizza delivery guys to used couch flippers to where you're at today. And I really think it comes down to the hustle, the unmatched hustle, as you guys have described, customer service mentality that you have, and just a general pursuit of bigger and better things within your business. Like, you're not content, it seems like, with the level of success you have right now. Like, you're constantly pushing, trying to get to that next level. So I would love if you could share like where you want to go with the business moving forward into the future.
Never be content, because that's going to make you complacent. But moving forward, we're just looking to continue to scale this. We're going to use the same values we have when we keep adding more employees and more helpers. When they have those values, it'll make everything run really smooth. We want to ship more couches. We want to sell more couches locally here around Texas. And we want to eventually build our own private label product that we can ship nationwide and sell locally. And there's just so many different opportunities, and more opportunities are going to continue to pop up as we progress.
Especially the private label we're definitely working on right now. We're in deep talks in terms of the design. So I would say that's probably one of the next steps that we're taking is having our own brand where we can control the inventory. And I would say definitely expanding into a larger showroom. That would be the main two outside of what he said.
This is not the first time that I'm hearing this private label conversation. Spoken with a couple other couch flippers that are in pursuit of the same thing. And that might be the next level of couch flipping. At that point, is it even couch flipping anymore, right? The reason I love being a part of what's happening in couch flipping is I really see it as the birth of an industry. A couple hundred, couple thousand people all across the United States, individually building their own businesses that are sort of evolving in tandem. And we've seen what stage 1 looks like. Your peers arguably are that next step in the evolutionary ladder. But then there's going to be a step beyond that. And it seems like private label, coming out with your own brand, might be that next iteration. And it's not that furniture retail or building brand name furniture is in and of itself new. Of course, there are retailers out there already, but it's the story of how you got there. And that's the thing that unites all of the couch flipping businesses that have been built over the past 5-10 years. And these are very different than furniture brand that popped up in the 1900s and has like 100 years of history, or a furniture consignment store that popped up in the 1980s. There's another wave of business that is being built here, and it's digital. It's Facebook Marketplace first. It was like literally people on their cell phones driving around in cars trying to make something happen. So there's a super interesting story to this new wave of furniture business, and excited to see what you guys come up with next and the evolution of your business, and to just see how things go for the industry in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the pod. Thank you for sharing your story and your bits of advice to our audience. I think they're going to get a lot of value out of this. And then looking forward to hopefully having another conversation with y'all maybe a couple months down the line to see what you've been up to.
Definitely, we can do that. And good luck to you with everything too, Charles.
Yeah, I appreciate you having us on, and good luck to your business as well, and then all the other couch flippers. Thanks for having us.
Keep hustling.
Keep hustling.